How y'all doing today? This is Bianca Cosmos, and I kind of wanted to talk about some astrology today. I have this lovely book of astrology, the Library of Esoterica. Okay, it's freaking awesome. It's like awesome sauce, you know? Okay, so to start off, we're going to talk about the sun. The sun in astrology, okay? In astrology, the sun rules the sign of Leo, okay? And it is the natural fifth house of the astrology graph, astrological chart, the graph, the natal chart, however you want to say it, okay? So the cycle of the sun is 1 year, okay? It takes the sun 1 year to make a complete cycle around the natal chart, the natal graph, or the earth, okay? The sun is exalted in the sign of Aries, okay? And it symbolizes power, manifestation, and the life force, okay? When the sun is in the sign of Libra, it's in its lowest point, okay? This is what they call, it being in its fall. It's in its fall, it's not its brightest, it's not, its most vibrant, it's not operating at its highest potential in the sign of Libra, okay? So, in reference to the anatomy or the physical body, the sun represents the heart, it represents the upper back, it represents the spleen, and it represents the circulatory system, okay? And it also, the metal, the metal that correlates to the sun is gold, okay? So gold is attributed to the sun, okay? So in the tarot, the sun is its own self. It represents the sun in tarot, okay? So I'm just going to read a little bit of this, of what is right here. Okay, the center of illumination, okay? Here's a quote from Nicholas Copernicus, okay? I believe he wrote The Revolution of the Heavenly Spheres in the year 1543, okay? And his quote was, "For who in this most beautiful of temples would put this lamp in any other or better place than the one from which it can illuminate everything at the same time? Aptly, indeed, is he named by some the lantern of the universe, by others the mind, by others the ruler. Trimegistus, I don't know how to pronounce that word, called him the visible God, the watcher over all things. Thus indeed the sun, as if seated on a royal throne, governs his household of stars as they circle around him." Okay, so that is a quote by Nicholas Copernicus. Okay, so let's get on to the dialogue. Okay, it says astrology recognizes the importance of the sun by positioning it as the center of the horoscope. It symbolizes the soul's essence and enlightenment. Its light is all-knowing, our self-expression, and its most authentic. The sun rules the sign of Leo, and people who have Leo as their sun sign are like the sun, creators with infectious vitality. They are generous, expansive, and enthusiastic, freely giving away warmth and light. In astrology, as in real life, the sun acts to orient us. Solar alignment on the physiological plane is a mainstay of human culture, from the placement of monuments to practices like yogic asanas, the sun salutation, and meditation that allow us to realign our bodies and awake energy from the core. The possible negative effects of solar energy are arrogance, individualism, and insecurity. The warm light of the sun offers magnetism, provided one's self-esteem is balanced. When it's not, vanity, selfishness, and self-centeredness result. The sun's trajectory through the sky and the four seasons, often depicted in art as the sun cross or solar wheel, mirrors the human life cycle through youth, maturity, middle age, and old age, or perhaps rather we mirror the sun. Its energy changes through the seasons of life. This chi flows in similar motions through the universe. In feng shui, the sun is a guiding principle, and homes are oriented to the south for the best solar gain. Its alchemical symbol is the most sacred and valued of metals, gold, which was believed to be the spirit of the sun manifest on earth as congealed light. Okay. And this is like a depiction of the sun. It's like the lantern of, the earth, the lantern of the universe. Okay, let's see what else they got to say. They got a picture of the tarot, the sun in tarot. Okay, I believe I have that deck as well. I believe that's the Thoth Tarot. Okay, they also have some other depictions of the sun, which is represented in historical art, Egyptian art, hieroglyphs. Okay, really cool stuff. Let's see what else they got. The sun. I believe the sun represents the solar plexus. Astrology is not, in the modern definition of the word, a science, but it is a science in the ancient definition. Astrology is a science of life in the in the broadest possible sense. The planet at birth do not cause you to be what you are. They are a reflection of what you are. Because you and the universe are one, so it's basically a technique for looking at yourself in a mirror. What has happened is that we now use astrology primarily as a tool for self-actualization, and as such, because it is transpersonal, it has a way of interpreting that does not depend on a person's particular ego and personality structure. It can help people see themselves in an expanded way. We don't predict the future, we predict the potential future. Because once you understand that you are not a plaything of the universe, you are actually a player. Now, that was a quote by Robert Hand. He's an author and an astrologer, okay? That's so cool. They have a picture of the black sun. That's so awesome. The black sun. Okay. So I guess I could talk further more about the sun, okay? So, like I said before, the sun is the natural ruler of the fifth house of astrology in the natal chart. Okay, and the fifth house represents childhood. It represents our childlike qualities. It represents our hearts. You know, what the things that trigger our heart space. Okay, and the fifth house is all about uh, children. It's all about fun. It's all about how we love, you know, because the Leo or the sun represents the heart, you know. It's also, the sun also represents the father, you know. It represents the authority figures, you know, those that we would consider like a father, or you know, those that we will hold some type of respect for, because in a lot of ways the sun represents leadership and authority. um, you know, the sun, it has its higher qualities. Every planet, every house in astrology its has the higher manifestations of that, and it also has those lower manifestations of that. And I think we briefly spoke about that, um, but I find it very interesting because, wait a minute, I seen a, yes, okay, this map right here, man under the zodiacal laws. Okay, so Leo, this is the solar plexus. Okay, so it represents that stomach area. Okay, which is funny because they say that the sun represents the heart, or Leo represents the sign of the heart. But anytime you speak of the sun, you know, it is indicative to the sign of Leo in astrology. Okay, so the solar plexus is one of the chakra points. It would be like right here, not necessarily your navel, but like kind of above that, like here, right here, in this space right here. And this is where sometimes you can get a little nervous, you know, if you have too much built up energy here. The solar plexus is, I feel like it has a lot to do with it has a lot to do with I need to look this up real quick just for some clarity. The solar plexus. Solar plexus. But yeah, the fifth house, Leo. Leo. The sign of Leo. The solar plexus. Let's get some clarity on that. Okay, let's get it. The solar plexus. The solar plexus is located in the center of the torso above the navel. Is the central location for nerves within the abdominal area. The solar plexus is a collection of two bundles of nerves, or ganglion, that intertwine and pass each other at a central location in the abdomen. The solar plexus, more traditionally known as the coeliac belly, plexus gets its new name from its resemblance to the sun, with nerves meeting in the center, creating rays of nerves radiating outward to many other areas of the body. The solar plexus is held in the middle of the abdomen, just behind the stomach and in front of the aorta, one of the largest blood vessels in the body. It sits just below the diaphragm, or muscle below the lungs, that causes hiccups when it spasms. An essential part of the body's nervous system, the solar plexus plays a large role in keeping our organs functioning smoothly and preparing the body to respond to stress by making changes in metabolism. At times, the solar plexus causes changes in the body in response to stress and produces a fight or flight response. This automatic nervous system response floods the body with hormones it needs to act quickly and prepare itself for trauma, physical injury, or the speed and strength it needs to preserve itself. That's very interesting. The solar plexus chakra radiates your power in the world. Could say the solar plexus chakra characterized by the expression of will, personal power, and mental abilities. The energy of the third chakra, or the Manipura in Sanskrit, is mobilized when we assert ourselves in the world, discover its key characteristics, and how to make the most of this powerful energy center. Okay. The solar plexus area, upper part of the belly where your diaphragm rests. It is the third chakra from the bottom, the traditional system counting 7 chakras. The color is yellow. It represents higher frequencies of this chakra and can turn into golden yellow. The symbol of the solar plexus, a circle with 10 petals in which is inscribed a downward pointing triangle. The original name in Sanskrit of the solar plexus is the Manipura. The Manipura. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay? And its element is fire. Additional elements used in modern energy healing practices are healing crystals and aromatherapy. If you're curious, here's a list of most of the common ones. Solar plexus chakra healing stones: citrine, tiger's eye, and yellow tourmaline. Essential oils are chamomile, bergamot, cedarwood, rosemary. Those are the popular ones. Okay. Okay, so the main meanings associated with the third chakra, the solar plexus, is will, personal power, taking responsibility for one's life, taking control, mental abilities, the intellect, forming personal opinions and beliefs, making decisions, setting the direction, clarity of judgments, personal identity, personality, self-assurance, confidence, self-discipline, and independence. When the solar plexus chakra is open and the energy in this center is balanced, these functions naturally find a clear and effortless outlet. However, in case of the flow of energy is disturbed, rather because the Manipura chakra is overactive or blocked, symptoms may range from energetic to emotional to physical. The Manipura chakra is traditionally related to the element of fire, though some contemporary healing movements connect it to the element of air. It has a connection with the sun, heat, the energy of light, all forms of power. Is mostly and commonly represented with the color yellow, since it's associated with the element of fire, and is also sometimes depicted as yellowish red. Closely connected to the digestive system, especially the gastric and hypogastric plexi. Its main function is to help transform matter into energy to fuel your body. It governs metabolism and is commonly associated with the pancreas. The main elements of the solar plexus chakra symbol are a circle with 10 petals, a downward pointing triangle. The inverted triangle represents fire element and the transformative power of this energy center. Fire turns matter into energy that can be used to move forward. The 10 petals are often represented with the color blue, like the blue color of the flame. The most common Sanskrit name for the solar plexus chakra is Manipura, which means city of jewels or seat of gems. Seat of gems. The third chakra is also referred to as the solar plexus, the Manipura, the Manipuric Nabi, the power chakra. The word Nabi can be translated as navel. The solar plexus chakra is associated with the following psychological and behavioral functions: expression of will, intellectual abilities, the accounting mind that categorizes everything, assesses the pluses and minuses in life, personal power, the ability to establish ideas and plans into reality. At higher levels, it conveys wisdom. The main function of this energy center is to provide actual momentum to move forward and realize power, personal desires, and intentions in the world. It plays a fundamental role in the development of personal power. It feeds one's direction in life and the actions taken in order to reach your goals. It influences preoccupations about social status and self-image. Signs that your solar plexus chakra may be out of balance. On one side, a balanced solar plexus chakra makes it easy to find balance between your personal power and harmonious relationships with others. On the other side, an imbalanced third chakra could undermine your self-esteem and social life. When the solar plexus chakra is balanced, you may be assertive. You may exert your will in a way that leads to the expected results somewhat effortlessly. It also will cause you to have harmonious relationships with your surroundings. Imbalances will manifest as excessive control and authority over your environment and people, or the opposite in case of deficiency or blocked energy, feeling of helplessness, irresponsibility, being obsessed with minute details, seeing life through a filter of plus and minuses while losing sight of the whole picture, being manipulative, misusing your power, lack of clear direction, lack of purpose or ambition, making plans, or having a lot of ideas without finding efficient ways to realize them. Okay. That was pretty cool, man. I really, really, really like this book, and I am going to be breaking down all the planets with the help of this book, okay? And if you're interested in this book, okay, let's look at the author, okay? This book is the Library of Esoterica Astrology, okay? And it was written by Andrea Richards, okay? This is how it looks, okay? It's super cool. I love it. This is how it looks, okay? If you're interested. So, that's what I have. This was the Sun in Astrology, aka the solar plexus.